much love. Good night, good night, good night, good night. Much love, have a good night, good life. Grumpy Bear has always been there, even when life isn't fair. Even when no one is there, he's thinking of you with love and care. Even if you say like I care, he still gives you a big hug with love and hair. What hair? 'Cause he bald and eyebrows that are clear. With his kind words.
Alrighty then, we should be live. I am hoping we're live. As always, this is the Bear Thoughts Podcast. We usually do this every Friday at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. Thank you for joining us today. If you are new to this channel, or if you're a returning viewer, or if you're watching this VOD, I'm going to give you a little heads up to how you can help my channel grow. Biggest support you can do is right now leave a comment and leave a like on the video. Share it to all your family and friends. And if you are within the first 30 minutes of the VOD or even a YouTube video, just found out this Discord, I found out some more details that I didn't know before. I'm always learning new stuff every week. Apparently YouTube has a thing about when the first 30 minutes of a video goes up, they check that that footage, or they check that's the time it's being watched or being viewed during the first 30 minutes. Then they start pushing it to new viewers in the algorithm. 30 minutes. Okay. That is ridiculous. Can you think of that? Like 30 minutes of video that you put on, you worked on hours or days, you post it up, and you only get a 30-minute window to that video to pop off before YouTube goes, okay, we might show it to other people now. I would like for them to give me an hour, maybe two. I don't know, give me a little bit more than 30 minutes. It's a very small window. It's like the whole anime video.
Sometimes it takes up to a half hour for everybody in your community, even if it's thousands of people, just to get to where they can get connected.
Yeah, or just see it, because not everybody's on the internet at every hour of the day. 30 minutes though, like, yeah, people leave comments or leave likes on the video within 30 minutes. YouTube will not push it to new viewers, and I can see why it's hard nowadays to grow on any platform. But also, I am now also on another green, I can't say it because we're going to talk about this a little later on. There's another website that we're supposed to be allowed to be able to multi-stream to, but now Twitch is saying you can't. Even though they said we could. They're now like punishing people if they do it. You can go, it starts with a K, it's a green symbol, and you can now go and subscribe to me on that platform now. If you want to make sure that all the revenue that actually you give to me, your subscriptions, goes all to me, rather than 70% to the purple website and 30% to me, which I think has always been unfair. But that's all I could do, right? Yeah. Right. But if you give me, $5 and I only end up getting $1 out of it, I think that's kind of messed up. I'm just saying, I think that's not right, but that's how the purple website does it. The green website goes, no, here's 99% of it. We only take 10%, which I love it. Okay, so this past week, we had a little special part stream for everybody's not get to watch it. We had a lot of difficulties, a lot of problems, but we managed to deal with it. We unboxed Corvo new multi-filament 3D printer. That is the Kraken 3 from
the Anycubic Cobra 3.
Cobra, sorry, I thought Kraken. Cobra 3, which had its own little heating chamber, and it was pretty dang cool. You can see that, go watch on his YouTube channel, or you can watch the VODs on his Twitch channel if he has VODs up. I don't know if you do or not. Okay, so we were having one problem with it though, one issue with it, and I want to know, did that problem get resolved, or there was another problem that arrived?
No, it will be resolved tomorrow.
Okay.
So I reached out to support on my wife's behest because she wanted to make sure that if I took steps to correct the issue, it was not going to void my warranty.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
After I emailed them, and they said that they could ship me a replacement for the small part if I wanted them to.
Yeah.
But they were out of the actual printer itself in the US. So like if you go to the
Yes.
website right now, you can get it in the EU and stuff like that. And they said due to that being the issue and us not being able to quickly fulfill a a return, we will authorize you, if you know how to solve the solution, and put it
Said.
in the record so that it
Bot
doesn't
Rix has
void your
correctly
warranty,
joined the
saying,
channel.
hey, we authorize the user to do this.
Okay.
So the reason that come up is because they, as well as me and you, know that the small piece is not the issue. It's that one of the holes is a half hole off.
Yes.
So I will remedy that problem in the morning and then get it set up where I'm going to be doing the initial test printing and, tuning and stuff. And I plan to try to have some prints running tomorrow on it. They probably won't be streamed because it'll take a little while for me to print a couple test prints and then print the camera mount before I can get the camera going.
Okay.
Once that's done, hopefully maybe Sunday, Monday time frame, we will have a stream pop off of it so you guys can see it run the first time. I've got a couple of models that I've worked on. Some of the models are like the first couple of models are all one color because I want to get it tuned off of a single color before I start throwing multiple colored filaments in it.
Yeah.
Then I've got a couple of models where this piece is this color, this piece is this color, and I'm progressively making it harder with the models, up to where I've taken that dice tray like I give you, that I printed you,
Yeah.
and I have done things to it such as the rim that runs around the bottom of it is one color, but the insert where the dice lay or roll is a different color, and there's a couple of color bands as it goes up to test it.
Okay.
So at some point, we'll see that go off. And then I've even made even more complicated models. And I have a special project that I'm going to work on for you, sir, as soon as I get this thing dialed in and running, that popped in my head today. That I think you will enjoy if I can pull it off immensely. So
Sweet.
we're gonna try to get some printing running tomorrow.
Did
on
you
that.
did you find out if I gave you the orange spool? Anybody's wondering here right now, we're talking about the a 3D printer, but did you ever find out the orange spool in your little packets of?
I did not find an orange spool where I looked the other night, but that does not mean there's not one, because I also have some in a different location that I could not check. Because at the time waking him up, because he has a place in his room that's a cabinet that is also holding some spools, because he has his printer.
Do you know anybody name that calls you Casio instead of your
Sick.
actual name?
You're my fave YouTuber.
Anybody?
Okay. I don't know. But thank you for watching. I appreciate it. So we're gonna hope we get that 3D printer up and going for him within the week or so. I'm looking forward to see the projects. But let's just jump right to the next one.
Yeah.
This is kind of a crazy one. So if anybody here is been watching me for a while, I do have videos coming. I promise you, for more manga
bad.
reviews. No problem. Just I do have more videos coming out, so I hope y'all looking forward to that, and
Said.
I'll get that going.
Casso.
Yeah, I think he's trying to say your name.
Yeah. He's probably trying to say mine. But it's all good.
Okay. So let's jump into this one right here. So, as you well know, I have been multi-streaming for the past probably, I don't know, 3-4 months, maybe longer than that now, since Twitch said on their platform they were allowing multi-streaming on their platform. So everybody's and their mother has been trying to multi-stream as many platforms. This was a great idea. It's a great idea to do this. Do this if you're new to streaming. Do not limit yourself to one platform. And they said people could do it. And people were doing it, right? And the one rule that they had, that some people were breaking, was they're not allowed to show on screen somewhere on the live stream both chats or chats from other channels. That's kind of understandable, right? Like Twitch is about the community.
No conflict, right?
Yeah, no conflicts of interest. Maybe don't put links to the other platforms in the description below. Probably not a good idea. But what people got really upset is when people started thanking people from those other platforms that were subscribing and donating and following and giving them the support that a channel kind of needs, right? Like you kind of need that kind of, you need to let them know, like, hey, I am grateful to you for making this thing a thing. Maybe giving me money should be thanked.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
But then Twitch goes, no, you're not allowed to talk about them or talk and engage with them at all, or you get banned.
So you're going to allow me to multi-stream, but not allow me to thank all the people that you're allowing me to multi-stream to.
Yep. And if you do, you talk about them, you thank them, you're in shit.
Okay.
So if anybody, look right now, if I would say, yeah, if I would say, you know, the person that's talking to me in the other platform's name right now, that is in the red channel. Thank you, by the way. I do appreciate for those who are in the red channel right now. If I were to thank them right now, and Twitch would find out, I would get banned for thanking them for even being in my chat, being a cool bro. I'm like, hey, I'm here. That's great. Love it. Love it. So unfortunately, people have been start getting banned for that. Now, I personally don't see a reason why you can't show, your chats on both sides of things. I know people say it's all about the community, but the community isn't just based on what platform you are. It's about the people that took time to follow you on all your platforms.
So, your first off, your Twitch is dropping occasionally.
Yeah.
Per Stealthy, she's checking.
Yeah,
doing
Twitch
the Stealthy
is
thing, checking both.
Twitch is being the weird thing again. I'm probably just stop the Twitch,
playing,
honestly.
Playing devil's advocate. Part of the problem with putting the chat from all of them or one or both or whatever in there is that
Stop Twitch.
Not always does one community in one, like say the red channel, and one community in like say the green or the purple channel. Those communities don't always get along.
Yeah. So
they don't want to create conflict or competition that could cause an issue with their platform. That's where that stems from.
Yeah, which is like people are saying, what Twitch was saying, and their comments of why they don't allow it, because if the other platforms' channels were to say something that is inappropriate in that channel on that feed of chat, then they would be held reliable from what they were saying. But then people were going, well,
and that is true, because even though it was said in the other platform, it's still able to be seen in there.
Yeah. So, but people have made the analogy is, I've stopped on Twitch. I don't know if anybody even sees me on Twitch right now, because I just stopped it there. People have said, but people have seen people talk in World of Warcraft's chat, right? Which is a completely separate thing. It's a live chat, just like anybody else. And in that chat, in League of Legends chat, if somebody says something inappropriate, it's not like the channel's in, like the platform is in trouble for them saying it. It's the user that's in trouble for allowing that to be seen.
But there's a difference there. You're talking about a game versus a platform to stream a game.
Yeah.
There's different precedents for that when it comes to legal liability.
Yeah, but like the streamer gets in trouble for the World of Warcraft chat. Why can they not just get in trouble as well if they choose to get in trouble for the other platform's chat? So let them get in trouble for that.
And that's, but the thing is, that's not the platform's rules.
Mm-hmm.
That's not them. They didn't make those rules. They're being held legally by governmental law, not their own law.
Gotcha.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even though if they allowed the platforms to punish said person, just that person, that would be okay. You're right. You could treat it like a game. But they don't allow it because there's more on those platforms than just streaming a game. So, for instance, there's chatting, there's unboxing, there's all these others. So you can't hold the streaming platform to the same rules that you hold a streaming, a multiplayer online game. You understand?
Yeah.
Because in the game, all that's in that game is the game. But in the platform, there's so many other things going on so many other channels. So the legal precedence was changed. It's different.
Got in trouble for saying shit they shouldn't have. I
So
had to fight that one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So to not saying that that's the way it should be, don't misunderstand it, but I know why they did it. I understand why it is set up the way it's set up.
It would
Yeah.
cause too much trouble.
So, this is, it's compiling problems going on now. Some people are speculating, which I'm kind of understanding that this might actually be true, considering the constant problem I'm having with streaming on Twitch right now, when I'm streaming on other platforms. Some people are noting that if you are streaming on other platforms, Twitch is, or maybe deliberately making your quality of your streams go bad. And considering how mine keeps on dropping, I'm almost speculating that might be true.
Hello Subso.
What is your thoughts on that?
You're by the way, the Twitch is back up.
Yeah, I killed it. Wait, it's back up? I killed it.
Yeah, of course, it's back up. Anyway,
What the
my
hell?
thoughts-
Okay.
I don't know. I can see it. I'm looking.
That's
It's still-
weird.
It's still running. Anyway, we can't get into stream. We can't get into stream when you click stream, but when you turn it off, it works.
Yeah, I literally have it on my. I literally have the thing turned off. How is it?
Anyway, my
Don't care.
thought process.
Because you
Said,
used your account on your
"Hi,
phone.
Dad."
Oh, no, that's not my phone's over here. He's logged in as me on his phone. So, FYI, the 3D print is Sub-Zero, Grumpy,
Yeah.
currently. But
Good,
anyway,
good,
the
good.
point being, that my thought process on that whole mess is that if they are purposely affecting the stream quality to somebody's stream, that is a legal liability.
Yeah.
And if someone ever
Said,
garners enough
Hi, Grumpy.
evidence to prove that they're actually doing that, then they could be held liable for that, because you're offering a service and then you're affecting the service to your outcome. It's kind of like, think about a stock market. It's kind of like if you're one of the guys that's big in the stock market, on up there, and
Oh, we're supposed to say all this is allegedly the whole streaming thing.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. But if you're in the stock market and you know that, say, said stock is going to raise in 2 weeks because you can see the trend, you legally aren't allowed to divulge that information to anyone other than yourself, because if you tell them ahead of time and they are able to get ahead because of it, it is what the hell do they call that? That is insider trading, and it is illegal.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So it's the same thing here. If they're that they offer without telling, it's kind of like manipulation. You understand?
Yes.
Said,
Sub-Zero, we're
what you
talking
talking
about the possibility of certain streaming platforms affecting the quality of streamers' ability to have good quality streams for their own reasons.
Okay, apparently my Twitch went down again. So I still skeptical on the Twitch side of things. Okay, so yeah, I don't really like if they are like, I know they're opposing channels, but one right now is looking really good because there's not a lot of ads on it. there's almost no ads on it, and people are going, well, that channel's bad because their company that runs it is one of those gambling websites, and it's like, okay, but Twitch shows a lot of football gambling, sports betting. That's gambling.
Right.
That's just the same thing.
I'll put it this way, okay? When this shit first started, it started out as YouTube was the only streaming platform. Then Twitch came out. When Twitch came out, so did I can't remember. I think it's Hitbox or something like that. It did the same thing that the green one that you're talking about is doing. Okay.
Yeah.
Then it changed, and now it's a shit show. It's just that's kind of how it goes. When they're trying to gain people to come over to their platform, that's what they do.
Yeah, they try to muscle you into staying on their platform.
No, it's not muscling you to stay in the platform. The other platform gives you all this. Oh man, this is what I can offer you. This is what I can give
Oh,
you.
nice things. Yeah. Okay, the sweet candy.
It's a honey trap. It's a honey trap. You know what a honey trap is. It's a honey trap. Damn, she be looking good and she winking at me, and all the while she's like, I seen that wad of money you had in your wallet, yeah. And then when I'm gonna give you all this nice stuff, and then when it's over with, bitch, you get out.
Yeah.
You know? It's one of those things. I mean, you've seen it. You can go to a simpler format than that. We've seen it in MMORPGs.
Yes.
So you've seen it where the game comes out, and the first couple of years they're giving you all this free shit, all these great events, all these cool things, all these great characters, and then wham! You know what? Now we're gonna have to charge you for the skins because we've been in it for a while, and we need to make sure we recoup some of the money we spent. Oh, you know what? Now we need to charge you for this cool weapon that you want because 2 years has went by. We've put a lot of money in this. We need to recoup a little bit of that. They start slowly pulling it back, you know, slowly pulling it back, and it's actually, I hate to say it, it is now became a very common business practice that people start up things offering you all this great shit, whether it be a streaming platform, a video game, a business, a service, whatever it is. They start it up, they offer you all these great things, and then as soon as they get you hooked good, they start
pulling back those features.
Let me see what I can get out of him. See, he's in it for a while now. He's been playing for about a year and a half. Let's see if he likes it enough that he'll start paying me like that $5 for that battle pass, you know?
Yeah.
Or
like, with the green platform, I remember when it first was going, they had if you made a certain amount of followers, you hit a certain amount of followers and you had a certain amount of like viewers, small amount. I mean, very small amount, like 3 viewers or something like that. You could start getting an hourly wage, which was very heavily like incentivized. Like that sounds awesome. Then I found out how hard it was to actually get those because there was very few people on that platform to actually even start watching to get those followers. Well, I finally hit those followers like maybe 4 or 5 months back. And then I go to check it out. I'm going, okay, how do I get this going? I realized they upped those numbers. Now I need a lot more followers and a lot more hourly viewers or average viewers. I'm like, well, I don't have that. So that's gone, but it's still there. Like you can still hit that hourly wage, which is, you can get that plus subscriptions, plus any donations you get from your average viewers. So you make a lot of money really quickly. And a lot of the big channels, they show like, hey, this is how much I make on Twitch a month. But then they showed the other website and like, this is how much I make on this platform. And it's like 3 times, 4 times more than they made on the other platform. But they won't leave the other platform because that's where their main community is. That's where everybody's at. That's where everybody's comfortable at. It's where we know where this person's at, so they watch it. That's the purple platform. And I'm like, that makes sense, but this purple platform is starting to do a lot of stuff that hurts their community. And the community is like a abusive spouse that doesn't want to leave. It's like, you can leave them, you know. You can go to the other one. They look good right now, but yeah, you're right. Later on, they could become the same shadow from which this was built off of.
It's not that it won't. It's gonna take time for them to do it. but it will happen. And then there'll be another platform come along and they'll do the same shit. They'll be like, hey, look at this and this and this. And we'll be having this conversation again because it's an endless cycle because everybody wants
The next big thing.
to be the next big thing. Everybody wants what they, and you can't fault people for having dreams, but you can fault people for taking advantage.
One second. Hey, Juniade for whatever your name is. I don't see your message. I might got deleted. So if it's something inappropriate, rude, or threatening, go eat a dick. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Have fun with your life and be miserable all you want. So my thing is Twitch came out first, technically, when it comes to live streaming. Then YouTube came out with it, Facebook came out with it, and Mixer came out with it. I know there was another one something was bringing up earlier. I just can't remember the name of it. There was another one, but Mixer died. Hitbox. Yeah, okay. So Mixer died because they could not get that off the ground. Huh?
Hold on a minute.
All right. I'm gonna get. I got this because ironically.
You looked it up.
No, I was in the middle of all the shit. Remember?
Oh yeah.
You were on Kick or not Kicker, whatever.
No. I was in the middle of all of this shit. Because when it first started out, I was not a streamer at that time.
Okay.
I was at that time a mod for a streamer. Actually, several streamers.
Okay.
Yep, I remember because I remember who the biggest one was too.
I'm still a mod for you, for example. But I was a mod unpaid. Just saying. Gonna go ahead and say that right now. I was unpaid.
Should have been paid, but
for a guy that worked 4 days a week doing this shit and made plenty of money.
Okay, he was about mid. He made enough to survive.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put it that way. He had merch and all that shit. The way that I stopped being a mod is because certain things did not align with other stuff, okay? So that's why I'm no longer that person's mod. I occasionally check in on him, but I'm not
Gotcha.
all that shit. But when this all went down originally, not sure how to say it, but YouTube and Twitch were neck and neck when it came to the live streaming thing, because I'm not sure exactly who started first. It was
Justin TV that got bought out by Amazon, then came Twitch, and then YouTube picked up live streaming, not like videos, but live streaming afterwards.
But what I'm saying is Twitch and YouTube, basically with the live stream, they were fighting each other for who started first. Okay, we'll put it that way. About a year, 6 months, had all these great benefits, but it was trying to battle with two already technically established companies. Yeah, and it just wasn't gonna happen. So he did try to move over to Hitbox. In fact, they gave him a pretty, hey, we'll really pay you if you'll come over here. But everybody was already they've already created accounts. They didn't feel like wanting to go over there, and there was other things they usually they're like, fuck that, we're not doing it. We're not going over there. Yeah. And then right after that, about a year after that one, that's when Mixer came out. It's it was all trying to compete with Twitch and YouTube, and
every time
it's hard to compete with Twitch and YouTube because they were already established. They were big. They had stuff to fall back on and nothing else. Those others, because they were solely based on streaming, they just didn't have the ability, I guess would be the ability to actually compete.
Yeah, it's the community on those two channels, like I said, were already so big that nobody wanted to move over to the other ones. And it's until you start picking up on the abuse that these channels or these platforms are giving to the creators that help build their platform, that these creators go, okay, now we're gonna move. You're gonna ban us for these things that you say we're allowed to do, then we go and do it, and then you banned us. Okay, we're just gonna move over to this platform that's already doing all these other great things. It's no one is fighting for the creators' protection. I don't know what to say. Other way of saying that, like, how would you fight for your creators' protection on these platforms other than them just taking it on the cheek? It's like, I'm gonna take the hit.
It's difficult to do because the problem is that there is not one sole creator.
Yeah.
Understand what I'm saying? I don't fucking care how big you are. Fuck you. Understand what I am telling you. You are not currently strong enough until you get enough people to follow you. That means you're gonna all have to cooperate. It's never gonna happen because, hell, we can see certain things and it doesn't work. Not everybody wants to help each other out. And that in and of itself is why they keep winning.
Yeah, which LP, if I had the money, you know I'd pay you. You wouldn't even ask me or even tell me no. I would do it anyways. But also, LP, if you want to...
I'm not talking about you, LP, I promise.
Yeah, if you want to donate anytime or subscribe on this platform from now on. You know which one I'm talking about on this one, because this one does me better than the other one.
I mean, if we want to be honest, if I had the money, I'd pay you to be here.
Yeah.
If you had the money, you'd pay me to be here because we want each other here. We want everybody here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the thing, but you don't always have that option. Okay, the person that she used to mod for, he got lucky. He got to a point with his where he wasn't a big, like, hey, he's not Pokemon or nothing like that, but he was able to sustain a comfortable life. I wouldn't say he was rich by no means, but he was comfortable and didn't have to stream but 4 days a week.
Yeah.
But that's because he built that community there. And the reason that community didn't want to leave is because they're like, hey, all our accounts and shit are here. You're telling me, yeah, you can go to the other platform, but every single one of us will have to create new accounts and go over there. You know, and it becomes a problem.
Well, as far as I'm well aware, like, I don't remember every Twitch, because like I said, I've been doing 8 years, ever having for regular streamers, not the big streamers, the regular streamers, ever having anything greater than the 30-70 split. And then for the big streamers, it was always a 50-50 split, which I was like, always like, I want that. That sounds awesome. I'm okay with a 50-50 split, right? Half them, half to me. I understand it. They got to keep upkeep, which... I'm hearing allegedly that Amazon uses Twitch as a tax write-off. Go ahead, Stealthy.
It used to be that you only needed, again, this is
way back then. Yeah.
You only needed 75 originally with Twitch to become a partner and get 50%.
Yeah, which was heavily wanted. And now,
yeah, that was again.
Way back then. Yeah, but now, Hick, you can just be...
Moved up to 125, then it moved up to 250, then it moved up to 500. And the only reason I know these numbers, again, was because of the modding that I was doing for them. Mm-hmm. It always seemed to be just
out of reach
ahead of him until they did like the 250, and he was able to actually keep it and maintain it, and then it increased to 500, and then he had to build that up again, increase it and maintain it. And
that's stressful. That's stressful for content creator.
Don't misunderstand me, guys. I'm not saying like 75 followers to follow you. We're talking about like 75 constantly watching.
Yeah, which that's why I kind of like the green website now, because like if you get partner, only thing partner really means is you get paid hourly, which is a boon on it. But any subscription donation, 90%. Straight to you, regardless subscribe a affiliate, a partner, whatever, 90% straight to you. I'm like, that should always the way it should be, in my opinion. Then again, if donations and stuff like that are considered a tip, I bet not get taxed on that either. I'm just putting it out there.
If you break a certain amount of money of income, you're gonna get taxed on it. Period.
Yeah.
That's just the way it works.
That's the way it ends up at the end of all of it. But yeah, like, I don't think you should be, you know, of course, like people are saying, Twitch is a cost loss, and the people are saying, Amazon has stated that pretty much they use it as a tax write-off. Like they do it on purpose. They purposely make sure they don't make enough money on that platform in order to really make money off of it. They use it as a tax write-off since they make so much money on Amazon because Amazon owns it. I'm like, I can see that. As you're a business tycoon, you have a tax write-off, you can save a lot of money, right? I'm not a millionaire, so I don't know how that works entirely because I ain't rich. But if that works, good on them, I guess. Just
right. If you hit a certain amount of tax write-offs a year, or a certain amount in your tax write-offs a year, basically kind of washes out what you owe in taxes.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, but they could just not do that and make money so they don't hurt their creators. I think they just want to get comfortable. They're comfortable right now. And honestly, I can't blame them as a business person from that kind of standpoint. I can't blame them. But being that I wanted to be something on that platform kind of sucks knowing that I can never make it. There's no way I can make that number ever unless somebody discovers me over his 8 years. Sorry for those who are on that platform right now. It just keeps it going down, and I already ended it, but it keeps on coming back up too. So I really don't know what's going on with it. If I mess my settings again on OBS and see if I can just cut it out altogether, because I may not be able to stream on that platform no more, honestly, because how many weeks have been doing this? It's going on the third week now that this purple platform has been doing this to me. I've been losing connection on it over and over and over and over again, but none of the other platforms are having that problems.
Right.
So I am highly skeptical and uncomfortable with it. Let's see, the tax write-off, easy to save tips. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. You maybe I don't know, maybe your platform, your stuff. I know you don't really like dabble with a lot of that stuff. You're pretty much like
I push both. I push all my streams to both locations.
All of them. Okay, so you're on the green one too?
No, I'm not on the green one, but I'm on the purple one and the red one.
Okay, so like people were always saying like the chats in the purple and the green one is pretty bad, and seeing that my channel is really small, I do get a couple bad apples in it. But usually, like, they're just the same bots that Twitch has. The whole, like, hey, your channel's really great. Let me help you grow it. Or, hey, here's some viewer bots if you want it. And then occasional inappropriate, unnecessary chatters that jump in for a few minutes, say something, and they're gone at the next minute. It's like, it's nothing new, but it's still annoying.
Right.
If anybody watches any live stream, just don't read the chat if you don't want to see some inappropriate things, because some people are just going to let that just go ham, and people like, well,
they're all about the controversy, man. They want you to react.
Yeah, and they're like, well, like they know the channel could put filters and bots in the channel, make sure they can't say those words, right? So if they allow for those words to go into the channel because the streamer wants it to. I don't want it. That's why I have that blocked. So I ain't that person. I'm sorry, bro. Okay,
Absolutely.
so if anybody doesn't want to know, we are streaming tonight. We're gonna be doing the spin-off with Lizzie and them. So
And
you're
Blue
gonna be Bowser, but it's not your name Bowser. I just describe him as like a Bowser-looking creature or a lion turtle. If anybody knows what that mythos of being is, or dragon technically. So yeah, be alert to that. So let's see. Oh, you know, one gentleman I told you a couple weeks ago got banned from Shadow for calling a girl fat.
Yep.
He got banned again. And
What do you do? Call her anorexic this time? Shit.
No. So by definition, right? By definition, and we don't have to say the word just in case we don't want to get in trouble. But by definition, if you're a person that sells your money for your body for money in any form, by definition, what do you think is the closest word to that? They're both. Yes, that word exactly. You said it, but you know what? Go for it. He called her a whore because
No, I said bore.
Oh.
I said bore.
Oh well, shit. Let's. Anyways,
Okay.
yes, 4.
If we're gonna go there, you might as well call all construction workers one too.
Yes.
Anybody that works for a company, you might as well call yourself one too.
Mhm.
Good job.
So, but by the definition in the book, in a dictionary, it's usually means for someone selling their body in a sexual act.
Sell your body. That
In
is
sexual
gonna be a
act.
company. Sorry.
Wait. So, I'm sorry. I got a thought. Just
Yeah.
hit me. So you sell anybody that sells their body
In a sexual act.
technically in a sexual act.
Yes, in a sexual
But
act.
does it say
It does
does,
not say sexual.
does it say sexual act?
According
in the
to
dictionary?
according to what the guy brought up on his screen when he showed the definition of the word, it said sexual act.
Said.
Okay,
He showed it on his screen.
I just
yeah.
want to look.
Look up the
I'm
word.
curious.
Look up the what? Well, don't look Webster. I don't know. Webster, do you trust Webster anymore?
No,
Webster's
that's what
been-
you said.
Yeah, he brought up on his screen. So like, mine on my screen.
All right. Let's see. Dictionary. Merriam-Webster.
Yeah, do you trust Merriam-Webster?
You're supposed to.
You're supposed to, because that was the original dictionary. Okay, so yes, it does say sexual acts. However,
Okay.
in a more recent updated dictionary that I have seen,
Because people
it
change
does not say
words.
it does not say sexual act. It says anybody that engages in the act of selling one's body
Yes.
falls into that. Now, the reason I laughed is because after seeing this, the first thought I thought was every one of us are one.
Yep.
Every fucking person that goes and clocks in
I'm a
and
bore for
uses their
streaming.
body, that uses their body to do
Mm.
a job for someone else. You are selling your body for that job. Every fucking person is one.
Yeah. But anyways, so like I said, he brought up the definition. He brought it on the screen. You just read it yourself. In the act, and he was having people calling her, and himself calling her. Now, mind you, I'm not one for sticks and stones, right? I'm not really one for tit for tats. But mind you, this is the same girl that was calling him and the R word, even though he's never been legally or proven that he has R word someone ever. Never went to jail, never went to prison, never had crimes put or legal things pushed on him. So never been charged, never been no files. Even though a girl allegedly said he did, she never charged him. Nor was he ever charged, nor was he ever found guilty. And this girl's going on around saying he did it. Like, I never did it. I was never accused. I never was charged. The girl supposedly said I did it, but never brought up any proof, and nor did she ever do anything about it. I'm like, okay, well, not everybody's brave enough to seek legal things, right? I understand that.
Right.
But you can't call someone like that and not them want to, bite back at you. And at the same time, you're saying something to someone that can ruin their lives, whether it be true or not. And he just called you a bore, which doesn't hurt you one bit.
Well, that goes with that eye for an eye thing that a lot of people have. And it drives me crazy.
Very much so.
I laugh so hard sometimes when I watch people do well, yeah, but you don't do it like you. There's a difference in the way you handle things and the way what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Seth has a special way of handling things.
Yes, he does. Like, like adult necrotic dragons because
Yeah.
we beat up her dinosaurs kind of shit.
Yes.
Anyway, so it makes me
Yes.
think of a podcast that I've listened to. I'm not gonna say their name because we don't do that kind of thing, but they give me a sense of how people act on a whole.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is people submit stories to these people about things that has happened to them and how they handle these things, and the community post advice as well with the stories, right?
Yeah.
And you listen to some of these stories and you realize that there is a lot of people out there that are intolerant to being treated a certain kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like to me it's a he said, she said type of situation. And neither one of them are going to tolerate the other one talking shit.
Yeah.
And at that point, it becomes a pride thing. You know, how dare you slander my good, boring name? You know, and on his side, it's like, how dare you slander my fill the blank in? You know? And you're like, guys, at the end of the fucking day, you're in one place, he's in another place. The people that matter know the truth. Why the fuck are we doing this stupid, childish bullshit?
Well,
Yeah.
if, for example, here's the thing. For example, that was a friend of hers that he did that to you.
That's true, but
we
don't know the situation beyond what we've heard. But if I'm to go off of strictly what I've heard, they're both being childish little prick.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
I just have a thing with one person saying something that it's like calling you a stupid idiot. Never gonna change a thing, right? Never gonna change, never gonna affect your life at all. If you are being a stupid idiot, you're doing stupid idiot things, and you don't like being called an idiot, well then stop being an idiot. But then you go and call me something that can literally change and affect my entire life with a false accusation and ruin my life because of that. I have a big different standing on that one.
But that's what I'm trying to say is, for all we know, it could be true, and
Yes.
he's trying to cover it up.
That's very true. You have a very fair point. But
Which is why the whole thing is, no, you're saying they're standing on principle. It's not necessarily that. One is trying to defend himself off of a very serious charge, and the other one is saying, no, he actually fucking did it.
Even though it's just off of what she read online.
But
fighting over this one point.
right, and at the end of the day, you're right. It's highly probable. Well, I shouldn't say probable. It's highly conceivable that it's true. At the same time, it's also highly conceivable that it's bullshit. We don't know.
Yeah.
But what we do know is the way they're reacting. Now, it may be justified to them because they know the particulars. We do not. But as a viewer outside looking in, all I see when I see that shit is two people being childish.
Yes.
Because I don't know the whole story.
Yeah.
So for me, what I was trying to get to is that if you know the whole story, you know what's true and what's not, and you feel that strongly about it, I don't think blasting it over the internet's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Because your viewers don't know the shit that you know.
Yes.
So they're sitting out there going, well, did he, didn't he? Is she, isn't she? You know, what they don't know. So what you're doing is you're creating an environment for imaginative speculation.
Yeah, allegedly.
So,
like we were saying,
allegedly and might haves.
Yeah.
Now, it'd be different if you went online and you presented proof. X person did this.
Yeah.
Okay? You know, like if I caught you peeing in your backyard and I said, boom, picture. He was peeing in his backyard. There's no guesswork in that.
Yes.
Okay? Your community looks at it and goes, damn, He's a little bigger than I thought he was. You know, kind of shit.
Yeah.
But if I just go, hey guys, I'm gonna trash talk Grumpy because he called me fat and I know he was peeing in his backyard, but I didn't prove that. I didn't put a picture up there to prove it. Then the community's just sitting there. Well, did he? Didn't he? Did he call you fat? Did he not?
But that's the other part. Does she have permission from the girl to do it?
That is true. You're absolutely right.
No,
there too.
it was according to what because I was curious, right? According to what was going on, this girl that usually knew this guy, I was at a gathering one day, and after they met, a couple years later, she puts out a twit longer, which is a Twitter post, which like several different posts below it, going over the details of what happened. This girl read it online and then stated it as fact. So this girl posted online, this other girl read it online, read it, and then started calling him that.
So essentially, it was like a hearsay type situation.
Yes. And now she's just calling him this R word over and over and over again, and dude's getting mad.
And
it's
again, the post that she read may have been 100% true. It may have been 100% bullshit because she was pissed off with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know.
And then there are the women that no matter what, how do I put it? There are women out there that still think that Amber Heard, for example, was completely in the right.
Yes. Or there's some.
I mean, they were
one of those type of people.
right.
Yeah.
They were both. They're both. Both of them in that situation were in the wrong.
Yeah. Which.
I'm gonna say it right now. Amber was the worst one.
Yeah, she was more wrong in my opinion than he was, but they were neither one of them.
Which there are. Yeah, which there are people out there as well that goes and does something, but then later on regrets it, even though they chose to do it at the time. They regret it later on, and then they call it something else later on because now they regret it after so many years later on, or they're butthurt because they didn't get the relationship they thought of. Men do it too, like they didn't get what they wanted, so now they start talking the other person that they did all these horrible things. Reality, those things never happen.
Right.
You're just butthurt because now you're not in a situation that you thought you would have been in at that time.
That is true. So all of that rolls back up into my favorite saying. It's all subjective.
Yeah.
Because without proof,
yeah,
all you can do is speculate as to what actually happened.
Yeah. So which
this is like that podcast that I was telling you about that I was listening to. The stories are fantastic. I love listening to them because I love listening to people be dumb, and I love hearing the people that are being treated like shit come out on top. I love if they do. I love that. Absolutely love it. However, I also know when I'm listening to this podcast, there is a chance that everything I'm listening to is a big steaming pile of poopy. Because I don't know these people. I've never met these people. I don't know if this situation happened. Okay, so it's take it with a grain of salt. And then at the same time, if it is true, I look at it like this. Fuck, I'm glad I'm not them.
Yeah.
You know?
So I was going to say, like, I think since both of these two people want to go for tit for tats, even though one's a serious crime, the other one's just a name calling, I think both of them should be banned for the same amount of time, for the same amount of reasons.
I would say that something needs to happen. I don't know if banning is the answer. I don't know if demonetization is the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what the answer is, but something needs to happen. Because they're turning what, even if it was true, okay, let's say it was true, okay? Just for shits and giggles, completely speculation, guys, completely. But let's say it was true. Even if it was true, you need to be doing other things with that information than what you're doing.
Yeah. So okay, so this is the last little thing that I thought this was really interesting. If I get the video for you, I will. I just gotta find a video. So this past week, this is a bit of a story here. So go along with this ride with here. There was this footage that came out of this college classroom, and a teacher came out going, "Okay, I'm gonna show you the past couple years on average how many people pass this class," and he's like, "Okay, average people that pass this class is around 70 to 55% of students pass this class. Pretty good. That's pretty great from my class. But this year, somehow all their students made a 90 or 97% of them pass the class." And he's like, "Okay, I don't know how y'all did it, but the majority of you cheated on this class. It is impossible. I don't know how you cheated. I don't know who cheated. But what we're going to do is all those papers are gone. Deleted. We're going to take the test one more time. I had my people make the questions, and we're taking the test right now." So all students take the tests, right? The next day comes in. 99% of them passed. And he's like, "Okay, I don't know how you cheated. This is really impossible. I don't know how you did it, but I fired all my people to make the test, and I made it myself. Put your calculators up. We're taking the test right now." Next day, 100% of people passed. Teachers going, "Whoever did it, whoever's helping everybody cheat, come up to the floor right now, have your little laugh. Done with this? Just come up and tell me how you cheated. Let's move this on." No one speaks up. It's like, okay, fine. We're taking another test, pop quiz, put your computers, put your calculators, your phones, everything up into this drawer. No one has it with them. Only pens and paper. We're taking another test right now. The next day he comes in. Can you imagine what happened?
100% pass.
100% pass. Teacher is losing his fucking mind. He's going, "Okay, I don't know how you did it. You put a plant in my brain. You put a chip in there. I don't know what you did, how you did it, but this is going too far. This is not possible. I made this test as hard as I possibly can. Never been on there." And then each day he keeps on trying to do this, but you see him slowly start losing his mind and start becoming a conspiracy theorist about JFK, the aliens, Lars landing, Bigfoot, and he becomes a president one day. It's all like, it looked so real to the end of the video. It was all a sketch the entire time. And it came out so realistic, I thought it was real.
That's perfect.
Because the teacher was like, he was a great actor. But like, it was a good ride. Like, that to me is like something like, it doesn't have to be real. It could be fake and all made up. And it could be somewhat dramatizing, right? Because he was acting like he was going crazy. Because, that's his character. But he was supposed to be a teacher, but he had to keep him past the class. He ended up, like, at the very end of the video, he ended up, like, being in a chair, like, almost slightly comatose, watching the video on the screen. All the students get up and leave. I gotta show you the video. It's really actually a pretty good watch. Anyways, that's it for today. We're gonna do the D&D stream here within a few minutes. If anybody wants to watch that, to be on my YouTube channel. It's gonna be 3 of us. At least Dazzling is still gonna be missing this week. So it's going to be us and doing these side campaigns. So I hope you're going to be there having a lot of fun. Captain Punishment for all. Just kidding. That's like, yeah, it would suck. Honestly, if that was real, if I was passing all your classes and I kept getting a 100% and you kept calling me a liar and maybe do this test over and over and over again, eventually I would just leave the class. No. I done proved to you. All right. But as always, have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good life. Much love, y'all.